Hey guys, WebHeadGaming here, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man X2. Starting things off, we'll be tackling Bubble Crab. Now, at the end of the first part of the playthrough, I talked a little bit about the X-Hunters and their whole presence throughout this game. Basically, you can do a side quest in this game. This is where X2 is different from X1. You actually have an optional side quest you can do. And the side quest is basically the X-Hunters will randomly show up in a stage, and if you want to take them on, you need to find the alternate route in that stage that will lead you to an alternate boss door where the X-Hunters will be hiding. Now, there are 3 of them in total, and if you beat them, you will obtain Zero's parts. And by defeating all of them, you change up the ending a bit. But honestly, I find it to be just not worth it. I find the X-Hunters to be pretty annoying to take on as it is. And oh, by the way, this part, you can use the power of dash jumping as well as the buoyancy you get from the water to get that heart tank. Normally, I think they expect you to use the dash from the leg parts, but I'm getting ahead of myself here. Back to what I was saying. I just find tackling the X-Hunters not worth it. It doesn't really change up the ending that much, and it's just, I find them very annoying to take on. Like, they do a lot of damage. Even when I'm all armored up and have my heart tanks maxed out and everything, they can still be pretty goddamn tough if you're not prepared, you know? Well, maybe not agile, but the other 2 are pretty goddamn difficult. And hence, for this playthrough, I'm just going to skip them. I will show you how their boss fights are in the alternate boss doors sometime in this playthrough, but for now we're just gonna skip them and go on to keep on doing the weakness order. Anyway, this is Bubble Crab stage, and Bubble Crab stage has one of the more memorable tunes in the game. I really do like the tune of this stage. And the main gimmick here is that you're being attacked by this fish, and what's annoying about it is if you're using the X-Buster, you gotta take down every part of the fish individually in order for the entire thing to explode. If you don't have the Giga attack that you get from the body part, it takes forever to kill that thing. And if you actually kill that thing, you unlock the alternate route of this stage to the boss door. And yeah. Regardless, it's pretty much your typical underwater stage. Not too dangerous, not too much of a threat. The bottomless pits can be a problem if it's your first time going through the stage, but it shouldn't be too much of a hassle. So now the water's drained and we're going up this vertical hallway filled with these goddamn annoying respawnable enemies. Ugh. It's like I said in X1, I'm not really fond of the fact that enemies just spawn in the instant they freaking die when you off-screen them, you know? It's annoying. Luckily, that's the end of the stage, and now we're tackling Bubble Crab, who is weak to the spinning wheel, so pulls that out. Now, Bubble Crab, he's not too difficult, but the basic gimmick is that the arena rather, is in the water, and it constantly goes up and down. Bubble Crab will constantly throw out a bubble shield around him, and if you actually go over him, he will do this pincer attack where he'll try and grab you upwards. Other attacks he barely does is he'll fire these enemies at you. I don't remember what they do, but he does have more attacks, but for the most part he constantly just fires bubbles. He constantly uses his pincer attack and he tries to create the shield. With the spinning wheel, you can shave his health off incredibly fast, and if he's sitting there like a dumbass trying to attack you with the pincer, then you can just get multiple hits off the spinning wheel. And yeah, Bubble Crab, not too difficult with his weakness. He should not be much of a threat. His refight, yes, there is a boss rush, is a bit more challenging because they actually include spikes on the ceiling, but it's not too drastically different. So by defeating Bubble Crab, we get the Bubble Splash, I think it's called. Yeah, there we go, the Bubble Splash. It's basically, you fire a bunch of bubbles. And it's kind of an annoying move to do because it kind of fumbles your jumping a bit. You'll kind of see it with the boss coming up. So now we're going to be tackling Flame Stag. And you might be wondering, what the hell is a stag? Well, I guess that's a term for a male deer. Probably. Because Flame Stag is basically a deer. He's got flame antlers, so that pretty much gives it away. And his stage is actually one of the shorter ones in the game. And I gotta say, right off the bat, love the music of the stage. It's pretty hot-blooded, pretty headbangy, really awesome theme. But so right from the bat, there's this beetle that will try and attack you. Jump on it, and it will carry you up to a sub-tank. Yeah. But not a lot of enemies here. One of the main threats right away is this giant lava that will rise up very fast, so you got to be very quick yourself. There's actually a heart tank here that you got to get very, very quickly without falling into the lava. That lava, if you touch it, will not instant kill you, but it does a fuck ton of damage, so watch out. Jumping on these pillars will cause them to collapse, so be careful. There is another beetle enemy, but it doesn't. Climbing onto it, I don't think gives you anything. I think it actually gives you. It takes you to the alternate route. I think that's all it does. I'm not going to show you any of the alternate routes, by the way. I find that the levels are short enough. You can probably discover them on your own. But yeah, Flame Stag stage, not too bad. This part can be kind of annoying because this squirrel enemy with the flame tail can ignite these exhaust pipes. And they can do quite a bit of damage. For the most part, you know, you can just get out of their way, or you can just take the damage like I do. And we're at the boss. We are at Flame Stag. Flame Stag, I don't know what it was during this recording, but I just had a lot of trouble at fighting him. He did way more damage to me than I should have had him done. But basically, here's what Flame Stag does. He likes to jump on the walls a la Sigma from X1, but if you hit him with his weakness, this is all he'll do. He'll throw fireballs. But what's annoying is that he actually throws 2 fireballs. And I always get caught off guard by that. And another thing that sucks about the Bubble Splash is that it seems to fuck with your jump. Like, when you fire it, it doesn't really make you jump as high. I don't get that at all. And that's why I had a lot of trouble fighting this guy. Otherwise, he follows a very simple pattern. He'll just constantly throw a fireball. You can just shoot him. He'll throw a fireball. You'll shoot him. And yeah, the weakness absolutely decimates Flame Stag. Not too much of a threat with his weakness. Without his weakness, he can be kind of difficult to take on, but he's manageable. So by defeating Flame Stag, we get the Speed Burner, which is actually going to be a very useful tool for some of the items in this game. You'll see why when we get to them. Other than that, it's not too terribly overpowered. I find that it's actually kind of weak on certain enemies, but not a bad weapon by any means. So now we're going to be moving on to the next stage, which is Morphmoth. Why? Because he's weak to Speed Burner, so go figure. We're going to tackle him next. And Morphmoth, well, he's actually an interesting boss. He actually has 2 different phases, but we'll get to him when we get to him. As for his stage, it's pretty much a junkyard. I think it's one of the longer levels in the game, but I don't think it's too terribly annoying. There's a heart tank here, but I can't get it yet until I defeat a certain Maverick and acquire his weapon. But we can get the Dr. Light Capsule here. Now, normally, if you want to get this, you have to get the head parts, because that actually has an ability that will allow you to see stuff like this. But because I played a game before and I know where all of the stuff's at, I basically use the spinning wheel on that specific part of the stage to break these blocks, and boom, an alternate pathway that gives you the body armor. The body armor can absorb damage like in X1, but it also comes with a Giga Attack, making it the first armor body upgrade to have a Giga Attack, which we will see in X4, X5, X6, and upwards. It's not too bad, however, I don't really use it that much. the things that are magnetizing the junk, I think if you're standing up under them, you'll jump higher. And yeah. I don't know what was up with Dr. Light when he was creating these capsules. Like, throughout the series, he created so many Dr. Light capsules. It's like he knew X was just gonna ditch his armors constantly and was like, maybe I should keep building him some more and more armors. Here is the first mini-boss of the stage. It is this weird bug that operates this junk robot. Once you kill the robot part, you can kill it instantly with the speed burner. There are other weapons that can kill it instantly. I think the Sonic Slicer charged up kills it, as well as the Bubble Splash. But yeah, these flying bugs, they're kind of annoying. Not the ones that fly, but the ones that jump are kind of annoying because if they grab onto you, you pretty much, your controls are pretty much turned off for a moment because it will fuck with your controls and will cause you to spaz out and whatnot. And these junk robots, these big bulky ones, will regenerate if you take too long to kill them. So don't take too long to kill them. But yeah, these jumping robots right here, I think I get caught in one. Here's what happens. It will inject some shit into you, and it will cause you to spaz out like that. It does nothing than to waste time, honestly. They don't do any damage, so feel free to run into them if you don't really give a shit. So here's the second mini-boss. It's the exact same thing as the first mini-boss, so just fight him the same way as the first mini-boss. Pull out these speed burner, and this one actually, yeah, it takes one hit. There we go. Not too bad of a stage, filled with a lot of these enemies that die in one hit. Or a couple hits, rather. And here's another one of those annoying cannonball enemies. Oh joy. Man, I keep getting caught by these damn things. It's annoying. Come on. There we go. So, yeah. I got nothing else to say. The stage is pretty easy, and the boss, well, he can be kind of challenging if you don't know what you're doing. Morphmoth is weak to the speed burner, so pull that out because it will make the boss fight go by much quicker. Now, Morphmoth starts out in his larva form, and this is actually where he's at his most dangerous because a lot of the junk he spews out is very hard to avoid. And after a while, he will go to the ground, start spinning on the ground, firing a bunch of junk. You can just go up to the walls to avoid it. And then he'll come back up, and then he'll go in this clockwise motion, or counterclockwise motion, firing a bunch of junk at you. Once he reaches half health, he'll go into his adult form. And this is where he's less dangerous. The Sparkles doesn't do a lot of damage. However, his body does a fuck ton of damage, so don't touch the body at all. And yeah, Speed Burner should take him down pretty quickly, and that was Morphmoth's stage. And his boss fight. So by defeating Morphmoth, we acquire the Silk Shot, which it's a kind of a weak weapon to use on certain enemies, but it has its uses. You basically fire this giant junk block that fires into these four corners, and that's actually going to be pretty useful for certain situations. But for the most part, it's pretty meh. See you in the next part when we take on Magna Centipede.